Hello from Cardinal Farms. We have exciting, well, I guess farmer
Sort of.
exciting. I know we've had a lot of exciting bursts lately, and we're almost done with that. We have, well, we had 2 more ewes, but one had a lamb last night. And so we have 1 more ewe to go. But on the growing side, we haven't been sharing too much with you yet, but we wanted to show you our new and improved grow room, built largely by Farmer Rich. So come on in, follow us in. And our wonderful camera person is our volunteer Heather, who is having to trip over our dog. So this is part of our basement. We have a large ranch basement under the whole house. So this year we decided, rather than tracking mud through the whole house, we would build this out to be our germination room and seedling grow room for the spring transplants. So when you first walk in, this is our potting area. So I have all of our different trays and seeding supplies over here. And then this is our mixing tub, and we usually have a bag of soil under here. Our fertilizer, fish emulsion fertilizer. So we do all of our seeding and potting up here. I keep a lot of our seeds over here, and there's a lot more than that, but that's a good start. And so, and then we had a sink installed. This really wasn't a high cost project, but the sink was a high cost. We had to have a sink down here, so we got a utility tub with hot water installed, and that has made all the difference in the world. So, and then, once we seed, then the seeds need to germinate, and this is where Farmer Rich is going to show you our germination chambers.
So over here, I do want to point out real quickly, what they did have to do is put in a pump here to get the water up and out and into the pipes to go out of the house. So over here, this winter I built 2 germination chambers, and we had 2 designs, and Farmer Cindy can comment when I'm done as to which she prefers. But the first one I started with wanting to be able to put the trays in widthwise. So it's built out of 2x4s. This is 1.5 inch foam, rigid foam that you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's or any store like that. And it has enough room for, I think this holds 11 trays of plants in here. And it's heated by this crock pot at the bottom. And you can see I insulated the doors, and basically it's a 2x4 frame, and the insulation forms most of the walls. And I did even more of that with the new one. This one has a back on it. It makes it heavy. So you want to keep this as light as you can, but as insulated as you can. And this one we do have on a dolly, so it's easier to move. The other one that I'll show you in a second is fixed. So the supplies were pretty minimal. 2x4s, which are expensive right now, but generally not. And the foam board, use screws. These are 2-inch screws. Put in about 1 inch in, and it gives enough support for the trays that you put in. Put foam on the door, use the gate latch, and that takes a little, this one being the prototype, it took a little wrangling to get that just set so, but on the second one I have a little better design for that. But this one gives, I think Farmer Cindy would say it's easier to put things in and out of this one. Mm-hmm. So the second one did basically where the things slide in lengthwise. Same concept.
Oops. So the cell trays go on top of that, so it rests right in there.
Yeah.
Same concept, but
same concept. Just I don't know.
A lot narrower, and so it was
the door
easier
doesn't
to
warp
construct.
as much. Yep.
Yep. And so, and I think it was easier to seal off the air.
It was.
So, because you can't really have a lot of leaks, otherwise you can't keep it warm enough. So the crock pot provides the heat and a little bit of the humidity, but it's really the wet soil that when you put all the trays in, your humidity shoots right up to where you need it. So, and then the heat is controlled by a thermostat. So I set the temperature to, like this one's set at 75, and then it shuts the crock pot on or off based on hitting that temperature. So I can do one germination chamber for flowers, which usually needs 70 to 75. And I can use the other one for things like tomatoes and peppers that need a higher temperature for that initial germination. I also cover all my trays with a thin sheet of plastic wrap to keep that humidity in so I don't have to water them. And usually I have really successful germination. It usually, our cameraman almost dropped the phone. That's all right, you're not fired. And so germination usually happens within a couple, 2 to 3, 4 days. So really has worked very well. Farmer Rich did an excellent job.
Thank you.
So once they germinate though, then we need to put them into an area that has both over 50% humidity and keeps the temperature at around 70 to 75 for most things, and has good airflow. So what we did is we took this whole room and we sectioned off a part of the room. Initially we just used tarp, and what we found was that it wasn't keeping it warm enough. So we put this insulation, which is called Reflectix, all over on the inside. I'll show you. And so that insulated it, it kept the air from coming in, and it helps also reflect the light from the all the different lamps in there back onto the plants. So, and Rich built us a fabulous door, so with a little frame. So come on in. So you can see this is kind of a self-contained area, and we have each individual shelf has its own set of lights. Some of them have heat mats, and yeah, so we're actually going to put one more shelf in here. Right now I'm running a little short on space already, so we're getting another shelf, and then all this will be able to go up. But if you were here, you could feel that it's nice and humid feeling in here. So I've got a humidifier, I've got a fan for air circulation, and then I also have a heater. This is, my mom had a fireplace insert heater, and she didn't need it, so she gave that to me, and it works great. And so same thing, that's controlled by a thermostat, so it goes on and off based on what the temperature of I want the room to be at. So, so yeah, it's a little bit of a work in progress still. We've only been using it for a few weeks, but as you can see by the way the plants are growing, it has worked tremendously, and it's a huge upgrade from last year, which was not good. We were using the bathroom for water, and so this is, we can bring the hoses right into this room and water everything, so it's just been really great. So I hope that helps you to understand how it is that we're getting ready for spring. Luckily we haven't put any plants out, so we didn't lose anything with this recent snow and frost, but by next week we should be able to start getting plants in the ground, and all of this is going to be going in the ground. So thanks for joining us. Farmer Rich signing off. Signing off from outside the room. Thanks so much.